G'day guys, welcome back. Look at all these gorgeous colours that I've got. I'm going to do a spring blossom pour. One that I did, this is a swipe that I did quite a while ago now. It's a 30 by 60 centimetre canvas and it's one of the most watched videos on YouTube, so I guess you guys like it. And I'm doing a similar one again today, another swipe on a bigger canvas, as you can see. 50 by 60 centimetre, this one. So a big one. I'm going to swipe from the middle out and the middle out rather than this one. Because it's so long and narrow, I only really could swipe once. And then I'm going to do some balloon dips and make actual, little flowers. So it looks like a spring blossom. That's the idea anyway. So I've got my white. It's really bubbly, this paint. I only just made it up. I should have really let it sit overnight, but today's Sunday and I'm working tomorrow on Monday. Oops, setting the place on fire. So I really have to pour today. Just giving it a quick little torch there to get rid of some of the bubbles. If you're going to do that, be really careful. You can burn the house down. I do have a fire extinguisher here in the studio with me. My pouring medium is 70% glue, 30% water. That pink just feels a little thick. This one here, 70-30. And with my swipes, I mix 1.5 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. When I'm doing my flip cups, it's 1:1. So this is a bit thinner, it's 1.5 to 1. Some of the colours were a little bit on the thick side. And they're quite pale colours, so when colours are mixed with white, the white's thick, so the colours tend to be thick. I'm going to put some oil in, silicone oil, the treadmill silicone. I'm going to do 3 drops, or 3, 2, let's see, how many is that going to be? I'll do 2 first. I don't want too many cells because there's a lot of cups. What have I actually got? Get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 14 drops of oil. Might just put one more in there. 1 more in there, and you can have 1 as well. There we go. Give that a good stirring. So my swipe colour today is going to be the white, and I've got all these gorgeous sort of spring colours. They're kind of pastel-y colours, my paler colours, and then just for a pop I've got this nice sort of magenta-ish colour. So white, I'll run through the colours real quick. White, peony pink, it's pale pink. Lemon, that's cool yellow mixed with white, just to make a paler pink. And then I've got my marina and shrimp. And this one's hibiscus. Lilac is purple with white. And then the lime is green and yellow. So those are my colours. And I only want to do little flowers, so I've just got like a little happy birthday balloon. I blew it up a few weeks ago and used it, so it's kind of shrunk. So I don't want to do very big balloons on there. And my plastic, my sheet of plastic that I use for swiping with. I find it's nice and easy to control, and I can just wipe it off. Right. Let's get going. Put the white over there out of the way so I'm not tempted to use it. So these leave a little mound. Because it's 1 to 1.5, it still does leave a mound, but not a huge mound. So every garden needs a little bit of greenery in it, doesn't it? And hopefully this won't take me too long to spread out. I'm going to pour all the colours on and then tilt it. Right, one down. What do I want next? I didn't really put them in the order that I want to pour in. I'm just sort of putting them wherever. Just however takes my fancy. I don't like to put the colours directly on top of each other. Where it's crossing over like that, that's okay. But I don't really like them too much on top of each other, because when I pull the plastic over them, they're going to mix anyway. So I don't really want to mix them too much now. And a little bit of blue. This is that beautiful pale blue, Marina. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. It's one of my favourites, you know that. I use it a lot, hey? So just trying to distribute my paint as evenly as I can. I don't want the bars or ribbons of colour to be too thick, because when you balloon dip, you don't want like too much of one colour popping through. A little bit of yellow. Hopefully I've got enough paint mixed up. And I'm hoping I'm not going to get too much green, because I've got blue and yellow, which make green, and then I've got green as well. But like I said, it is a spring blossom, spring garden type of a pour. So let's put a little bit of purple. I don't want too much purple. Purple can be quite dominant. I won't use all of the purple. And let's go with some pretty pink as well. And then I've just got the bright pink to drizzle here and there as well, just for a bit of pop of colour. So I might just drizzle, make that a little bit thinner, drizzle it, still probably use it all, but just drizzle it thinner. See how that goes. Just so I've got little bits here and there of it. I don't want like a big blob of it. Just want little bits of it to sort of pop through here and there. Okay, that'll do. I haven't used all of it. So I've got a little bit of the purple and a little bit of the pink left over in case I need to cover any of my edges. Now the other thing you need to do is get your paper towel ready. So I've got paper towel folded in half that I'm going to put here, and that's what I use to put my plastic on and wipe off. And when it gets full, I can throw it out, and I've got more here waiting to go. And also when I've balloon dipped, I use that to wipe everything down. So it just helps me keep a clean workspace. Otherwise this puppy pedal pad just gets soaked. Righto, now I'm just going to just cover all my edges, let the paint run over, because we can't leave so much paint on the surface. It's just too much. So just cover all your sides. It's been a while since I've done a swipe for you guys, isn't it? I think so. I think it's been a while. Just trying to think, the last one I did, I have runs of things, you know. I'll do heaps of flip cup pours, and then I'll change and I'll do something else, and then I'll do, you know, a heap of split cup pours, and then I'll do a heap of ring pours and heap of swipes, and yeah, just whatever takes my fancy at the time. I'm just bringing the weight of the paint to where I want it, because I want it to go here now. So I'm bringing the weight of the paint here. No point having the weight of the paint all up here if you're trying to cover this corner. Go over there. What's that? Is that something? No, just a bubble. So just going for this last little corner now. And then I'll take the weight of the paint back up into the middle, or away from this corner anyway. And there we go. Let's take it back up again. Doesn't that look pretty? We could just leave it like that, couldn't we? Yeah. A little bit more drizzle of this, I think. Just in a couple of areas that haven't got too much. Okay, now that's done. So now I just have to pour my white through the center. You don't need a lot of paint for your center. Just hope I haven't got too much paint left on here. So it's flowing pretty fast still. Might have a little bit too much left on there. If you leave too much on, once your cells have popped up, they'll just keep growing and growing and growing. So you don't want to leave too much paint on the surface. And also it makes it really hard when you're balloon dipping if you've got too much paint, because it just makes like a puddle. So when you start pouring, start on the side first. And just go through. Do I want a little bit more? Maybe a little bit more just there. It seems a bit thin. Never mind. It's done now. As I said, I do like to have my swipe colour thinner, so it's 2 to 1 instead of 1.5 to 1. Now I'm going to try and just take half of the white, sit it there, and drag that white over the top of the other colours. It's quite thin, the white, so it's not leaving a huge amount over the top. It's good in one way, but it's also bad in another way because you don't have a lot of white covering it. And off we go again. See how easy that is? Oh, you guys, you forgot to tell me to put my paper towel down. Here it is. Look at that. Right, now I need to turn this big boy. Well, it's a girl with all these pretty girly colours. I need to turn it so that I can swipe towards me again. And I've already used that side there, so I'm going to turn it around and use the other side. Righto. And when you do this, make sure you put one foot in front of the other. Otherwise, when you drag towards yourself, you're going to fall over. So that's better. It's a little bit more white there. So always put one foot in front of the other and transfer your weight. From one foot to the other as you drag it towards you. Okay. Now I'll just pop that plastic over there away from everything. Righty-o. Now this one's, as you can see, it's dirty, so we fold that up, we put that away in the rubbish bin over there, and we get one out that we prepared earlier. See, easy peasy. My little corners there are still white, so I'll have to fix them later. I hardly used any white. I think it was a little bit on the thin side. Right, so now what we do is, Look at those gorgeous rainbow colours. Now we torch. Let's see what happens. Round and round. Up you come, cells. Up you come, say hi. Go again. Just take your time. No rush. You probably won't get too many cells up in the centre where there's a lot of white, where the white's a bit thicker. But that's okay, because when I dip my balloon in there, that's when the colour will come through. Just going to give that a minute. Wait for those cells to come up. As you can see, where the white is thicker there, you don't get as many cells, but that's where I'll be dipping, because then the colour will really come through. So I'll probably just sort of do a bit of a wave in the middle with the flowers, and that'll give us that spring blossom feel. Right, again with the torch, nice and gently though, up high, you don't want to get too close. I'd rather pick where I want my cells to be and have minimal cells. Don't want too many. They do keep growing as well, your cells. Oops, I got a bit close there. If you want petals in your flower dips or balloon dips, if you want petals, you need to incorporate cells into them. So by dipping just into the white here where there's no cells, I won't get those petals. I don't think I'm going to get any cells up through that. It looks as if it's a bit thick, that white. Another go, but I don't think there's much going to happen under that white. So I'm happy with the amount of cells that I've got everywhere else. I think the sort of stripy background is really pretty. And the cells will continue to grow as well, so I don't want to really overdo them. Righto, let's get my balloon. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. Here it is. Right, don't like you. What you look like a footprint, a little paw print. So I'm going to just go in the middle there. That's very pretty. But you can see that that hasn't really worked because I've got too much paint there. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to swipe again. I'm going to swipe again and see if I can get some of this white off. Got a little bit too much white there. Let's go again. It doesn't matter, you can go again. That's what I like about swiping. It's a relatively forgiving sort of a technique to use. Do I do the other side? Kind of like the other side as it is. Let's just torch this side and see. Well, this has got a lot more white on it, hasn't it, than that one has. Let's see what's coming through here. Looks as if I've dragged a lot more of the white over the top of this. So it's still quite thick. The cells don't really want to come through that white. So I'm going to have to go again. Where am I going to go from? See, it's So you can see the colour through there, and then through here it's quite hazy, and for some reason the cells just don't want to pop up through the white today. Don't know what it is. It's just one of those days. Just take some more white off the surface. Probably did put too much on. Okay. And same with this side. Take a little bit more white off. Change paper towels. Right, let's torch again. Getting more of a rainbow look happening here now. Not as much white, so hopefully the cells can come through now. Hello little cells, good to see you, welcome. Welcome to the world. Righto, wait a minute. So I've got more cells coming up here now, where it was before it was really quite white. So I've still got some white over there. Let's see if I can get some cells to pop up through that white. Oh, see, I got too close there. That's what happens when you get too close. I don't think I'm going to get any more up. I know I only put minimal oil in. I probably should have put a little bit more oil in, but I didn't want too many cells. I think I'm not going to use my balloon. I'm going to go back to my glove. I like my glove. This one's, it's probably a couple of weeks old, so it's quite soft and it's quite small. Just wipe it off there. I will go over my balloon dips a couple of times, 2 or maybe 3 times, because I need to get some of the paint off the surface. You can't leave so much paint there. And I'm trying to incorporate some cells, if possible, into the balloon dip. Just so that I can have petals, because that's how you get your petals, when your cells are incorporated into the dip. So what I'm doing is I'm trying just to break up that white line that I had where the plastic's met. That's why I'm sort of zigzagging over that to try and cover that line. Alright, so that's the first little dip into the flowers there. And I'll just fold that over, and then I'm going to dip again into the same ones to pick up some paint, because it's too much paint there. If you notice that your paint is flowing back into the center, then you can go over it 2 or 3 times until it stops flowing so freely. And then you know that you've taken enough paint off. Just be careful when you do your edges here, because there's not as much paint on the edges of your canvas, because it's, you know, it sort of tilts down a little bit. So be careful, don't go right down and bald the area. What do you think of the colours? Hey, they're pretty, aren't they? So pretty. It's just delicate. It's delicate and feminine. Hopefully you're getting the idea of that, you know, it's a spring garden. Now, do I want any more, or do I just want to go down the centre like that? I don't like doing too many. Let's see if I can, I'm still hoping to get some cells in here. A few. Not a lot happening. And as I said, I don't want to overdo it. I like having that sort of streaky, washed look. Some background. So there's a few there. That's probably enough. Now I'm going to go over these flowers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. I like the odd numbers. Go over those again. If I've got a bigger balloon. I'm just going to grab my balloon that I used yesterday from the laundry. Dogs all followed me out. This one, it's a bit bigger. It's the one I used yesterday in one of the classes. I just want to see if I can incorporate some more of those cells. So a bigger balloon obviously means bigger flowers, and it can incorporate more cells. So this one I did more this way, that one I did more that way. This one I'm going to, I don't know, more that way I guess. I don't really like this one very much. Would have to be the middle one, wouldn't it? Just not sure about that. Anyway, can't have everything, can I? Now this one I need to come down more this way. Probably should have put something in the center of my canvas. I can see it sort of dipping down when I do that. And then this one I'll take more up that way as well. Okay. And I think I'm happy with that, guys. I don't think I want to do any more. I think less is more. I like seeing the individual cells. I like seeing the background. I like seeing my flowers. I don't want it too busy. Okay. Let's clear that up. Now, I personally don't like to torch again after my balloons because I don't really want cells coming up in them. I think I'll have to dip this one more time. It's getting some little cells in it. It's the middle as I'm dipping because there's no support under here. The paint's sort of running into the middle. I'm just going to do this one more time. Go around a bit. Yeah. Right. Let me get my gloves off. Take you down for a close-up. And then I need to fix my corners. I can see a little bit of canvas here. I'll just take some of that paint. Just pop that there and there. And how's the other corner looking? Now I know when you're doing, your swipes, your colours that have gone over can be a little bit messy looking. There's all kinds of mixed colours going over the sides. If that bothers you and you think, oh, it just looks so messy over the side, wait till it's all dry, and then if you really want to, you can paint the sides in whatever colour you want. You might think, I'm going to paint them all in pale pink, or I'm going to paint them all in white. I personally wouldn't, because you're going to see a line, you're going to see a join there, and it's just, I think it's just all part of fluid art. To have your little messy sides there with all the colours. You can see where it's all dripped over the side. I think it's part of the attraction of it. Now I need a little bit of pinkish colour just to go there. Look, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to match. It's all mixed into each other anyway. But all covered now. What do you think? Do you like it? I'll take you down for a close-up. I like how the aquas come through on those flowers. So we've got some really pretty cells. They're certainly not as pretty as the cells that I would get from a flip cup pour, but they are still pretty nonetheless. And you can see the background. It's kind of like little rainbow stripes, aren't they? Look at those cells. The lime is really popping. Love the lime and the turquoise. So this is the left side of it. And then we'll come back down the right side of it. A little bit more white over this side. Those flowers are gorgeous, aren't they? Look at the different colours that are popping through. Just so pretty. Those little tiny cells there, that's where I torched too close. Some really weird shaped cells in there. Very strange. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's getting a bit cooler now here in Queensland. We're in autumn or fall, so winter will be coming soon. And yeah, this is just a little take on some spring colours to warm us all up, those of us in the southern hemisphere that are heading into the colder periods. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.